mode in Valencia before the season is out effectively. Yes, there will be some other testing that the riders and teams will take part in, but in terms of us broadcasting it, that will be it until the new year, and 2018 is upon us. So what have we got left, and what have we got to bring you since the hour has gone by? Well, there's no change in terms of the outright time standings at this particular moment in time. A couple of riders have improved. Alex Rins has improved his lap time. Jack Miller, of course, has got some crucial laps in as well. But Maverick Vinales' time from yesterday stands as the quickest at 30.189. Marquez quicker today, as is Lorenzo, and Cal Crutchlow has also improved his time as well during that lunch break to lift himself up into 7th. That is Cal Crutchlow's fastest time of the weekend by a good 6/10 of a second. Andrea Iannone and Alex Rins, of course, they've both set times today. They were absent yesterday with a viral infection. Both Danilo Petrucci and Scott Redding, former teammates, Danilo, of course, sticking with Ducati, Scott over at Aprilia. They've not found any time from yesterday. Danilo Petrucci still exclusively working on trying to find a decent setup. There was bad news for Carol Abraham and Alvaro Bautista, both of them unfortunately pulling out. They're not riding here at all today, so they're going to have to wait till next year. And Franco Morbidelli, despite a fall at turn 10, has got himself up into 18th and improved his time. As I mentioned before, Jack Miller has also gone up one. Whilst we're talking right now, we are seeing some movement as Johan Zarco, who else our flying Frenchman, is quickest through sector 1, the number 5 Frenchman. So I'm sure we'll track him in just a moment, Matt. So he's already gone up into second place at a 30.4.
He's just fired in a 1:34.39, Steve, yeah, as you were running through those standings. So Johan Zarco right now circulating on a pretty good pace. Here we are now, picking him up through turn 9, right now through turn 10, that tricky right-hander where we've seen so many riders crash. No dramas through 11 then for Johan Zarco, and now back on board with new world champion Marc Marquez. 1:32.88 is still the benchmark time at this test session, set by Spanish rider very early on this morning, on only his 5th lap of 46 today. So Zarco's lost a bit of time in sector 3, but he's on a decent run here. Here's the Frenchman. He's going to crash as well. There's quite a few scuff marks on Johan Zarco's legs. And it looks like there's a bit of dust on there as well. I don't know if in the lunch interval, Johan Zarco might have taken a bit of a tumble, you know. It did look like, I don't know if we can get another onboard shot of him, but there's a bit of damage to those leathers. It looks like he's been down the road.
I'll just nip up to the box and check, guys.
Yeah, we all just nipped off for a bite to eat during the lunch break, so haven't we?
Yeah,
you see, he has definitely
there's
been
logos
down.
missing from his leathers, I think. I'm pretty sure, unless he's running an old set of leathers, that at some stage in the interval, maybe Johan Zarco has had a bit of a tumble. I may be wrong, and I'll stand corrected and apologise for doing a disservice to him if he has kept it all on the tarmac in that lunch break, but there are some signs of maybe a tip-off.
It's not slowed him down, that's for sure. He's estimated to go to first. Now, 3rd sector is where he lost a bit of time last time around. Johan Zarco then in second quickest at the end of yesterday with a 30.389. He's not far away from that now. Just heading around turn number 11 and up towards turn number 12, and he's lost again a touch of time there as well.
Okay.
Dylan.
Sorry guys, just to confirm, yes, we can now see that that he did crash. I'm just being informed by my colleagues from Spanish TV that it was at turn number 4.
Okay, so that was the slow right-hander for Johan Zarco. Let's see what he puts in here. 3 good laps coming up, whatever happens here. But is it quicker than his personal best? No. But a 30.6, that's 3 decent laps, Matt, in the mid-130s.
Yeah, turn number 4 immediately aroused a suspicion that it was probably a cool right-hand side of his front tyre. That's usually what catches riders out around this Ricardo Tormo circuit in Valencia. So that run then ended by Johan Zarco, and a pretty good one at that, a 1:34.39. His best of the session so far. Only just over a 10th and a half outside of where Marc Marquez currently sits at the top of the timesheets.
Jack Miller in that lunch interval we saw hammering himself around the circuit trying to play catch up. Of course, lost 3 hours after the first man to go out, crashed at turn 10, cold tyres. So he's out there and looking like he might improve his time already. So expecting to see him cross the line anytime soon, and he does go up into 11th with a 1:31.380. It's not quite as quick as he was going yesterday, but he is obviously loving life at the moment on that new Ducati. Faster than his teammate Petrucci.
He looks comfortable, Steve, doesn't he? Jack Miller doesn't look like a rider that's had a day and a half on that GP17 Ducati. Looks like he's been on there for 6 months or so. Really, really comfortable, straight into the groove. Loves the braking stability of that GP17, which took Andrea Dovizioso to 6 race wins this year. Hoy Lorenzo to 3 podiums. Of course, he's got no complaints whatsoever. No surprise about the engine performance of that factory Ducati. A lot less wheeling than you get on the Honda as well, which has had its acceleration woes over the last couple of years. Dylan?
Well, guys, I'm actually just down here now with Francesco Guidotti from the Pra Musim team. Francesco, well, Jack had a difficult start to the day, but he's out there and he's looking so comfortable again. How is he feeling on the bike?
Yeah, this morning it was the first
to go out, and I was so excited and too much excited after yesterday. And yes, it was maybe too cold, and he pushed a bit too much because of the good confidence he get immediately. So yeah, we lost a half a day to rebuild the bike, but now he went out again and looks pretty good. So yes, let's try to understand what he needs to improve a little bit, but I think now it's still the moment to get experience, to make lap and lap.
Are you surprised how quickly he's adapted to the bike?
I'm well surprised. Yeah, I'm well surprised, but not really a lot. I'm not really surprised. We expect something like that, but yeah, it's under expectation.
I mean, I think Jack, I remember him telling me when he was with Honda, he likes to ride and use the rear brake a lot to help the bike turn in. And I remember that, you know, lots of Ducati riders have said you need to use the rear brake a lot to help the bike turn. Do you think that's maybe one of the things which is helping him?
Yeah, maybe it can be helpful when you are on the very limit, so when we'll be very close to the lap record or so. At the moment, he still get confidence on the bike.
Francesco, thank you very much.
So, good to hear from Francesco Guidotti about Jack Miller. I think basically what we can summarise from that is they knew what they were getting in Jack Miller. That's why he was signed in the first place. He's a great rider, and there's a lot more to come from him. But I think that everybody's quite surprised at just how quickly he's adapted to this Ducati, regardless as to whether it's stable on the brakes or good at getting the power down early on. So Jack at the moment still circulating, and as Francesco said there, just trying to get in as many laps as possible.
The Ducati of the modern era, Steve, is no longer the big shop that it used to be. It's a much more competitive motorcycle than what it was in previous years. You think back to the days when Valentino Rossi jumped off a Yamaha in 2011 onto a Ducati, completely different ball game back then. Ducati with Gigi Dall'Igna at the helm over the last 3 years have really turned around that Desmosedici project. It's a much more rounded package. It works in all kinds of different conditions now, and although it still has the odd turning issue for the likes of Dovizioso Lorenzo, it certainly doesn't have anything like the major understeer issues that used to be the main Achilles heel of that project. So it's not quite the shock transition now when you move on to Ducati, as perhaps has been certainly in previous years. Take nothing away though from Jack Miller, because he's really impressed so far. 5th yesterday and 11th on the timesheet so far, having missed a big chunk of time after that crash this morning at turn 10. Marc Marquez back in at the end of his latest tyre smoking stint through turn 13.
Guys, quick word, Tito Rabat, he has also had a crash whilst we've been off. The bike pretty much repaired. Tito looks like he's okay. I'm yet to confirm the corner, but it was also down on the right-hand side of the machine, a bit like Johan Zarco, so most likely turn 4, but I'll try and find that out now.
So that Tito Rabat then down the road at some point, topping off his Ducati. Here's Franco Morbidelli, still on a 32.3, his fastest time of the test so far. He's put in 32 laps here today to go along with his 78 laps that he put in yesterday.
Guys, confirmation, also turn number 4 for Rabat.
Yeah, it's usually the right-handers that catch the riders out here in Valencia with that anti-clockwise layout, 14 corners around this Ricardo Thomas circuit, measuring just over 4 kilometres in length. With 9 left-handers, you can quite easily let the temperature drop out of that right-hand side of the tyre. This is exactly what happened to this man, Franco Morbidelli, at this very point on the circuit this morning. His first big MotoGP crash for Franco Morbidelli. And barrel rolling through the gravel trap. Thankfully, he was only shaken and not stirred after that big crash at turn number 10. He actually went straight back out onto the circuit, having got a new set of leathers on, and immediately went straight back out and started lapping faster. I would think, Steve, he's just a fraction over 2 seconds outside of Marc Marquez's pace so far. I think if he can just get it under 2 seconds, I would think under 2 seconds is probably one of his pre-test targets actually this week.
Yeah, they always say, don't they, that 2-second bracket is the one that's hardest to beat down, and if you can do that as a rookie in your first time out on the bike, I'm sure that the Italian would come away from here as a very happy rider indeed. He's learning stacks. Of course, it's a completely different motorcycle that he's used to riding. Might look like the same colour, but that's about as where it ends, I'm afraid.
I think he'd only ever ridden, he said yesterday, he'd only ever ridden once a 1000cc production motorcycle before that. You compare that to his fellow rookie Taki Nakagami. Well, one, Nakagami's already tested a Honda MotoGP bike in RF last November, but two, Taki Nakagami has got a lot of superbike experience. He's done a lot of testing, a lot of racing for Honda on a CBR 1000 RR5 blade in the Suzuka 8 so Taki Nakagami's certainly got a lot more bigger bike experience than Morbidelli.
Yeah, all Morbidelli's ridden the 600s for a long time as well, for the last 4 years. Morbidelli's been on 600s, and even at the ranch, they're out there on 600s as well, so this is a completely new experience for Franco Morbidelli. I suppose the only saving grace for him in terms of the overwhelming horsepower difference is that Valencia is at least tight and twisty. He'll feel it a little more when we get to Sepang, that's for sure.
Yeah, Sepang, one of those great circuits where you do actually get to properly unleash the full potential of a MotoGP bike. That brilliant tie-spinning turn number 3 that drops down the hill. Fast, blind entry into that turn number 5. Hard braking into turn 9. Then you've got those 2 long straights where you really do get to feel the top speed and acceleration of the MotoGP bike. Not quite as much as Tom Lucy, though, who joined us in the commentary box a little bit earlier on this morning. Of course, he has ridden a MotoGP bike before, KTM's RC16 last year, and he got that honour at Mugello. An eye-popping experience when he wound it up to top gear for the first time down the Mugello straight, when he was nudging about 350 k's.
Alex Rins, a rider playing catch-up at the moment. He crosses the line, no improvement for him. Dylan.
Yeah, guys, something from pit lane. So you're unfortunately not going to see any more of Andrea Dovizioso this afternoon. Not for a bad reason, it's just that he has gone through his testing cycle already. I'm now just stood outside the box watching Lorenzo's debrief. Once he's done that, I'll try and grab a word with someone from the team just to find out exactly what Dovi's feedback was overall.
Yeah, well, if he wants to stick in the commentary box, send him our way.
Yeah, we're always happy to welcome riders who've had the best seasons of their lives. 6 Grand Prix victories for Andrea Dovizioso this year, and that's the motorcycle that he did it on. Tito Rabat riding one of the GP17s here this week. Quick repair job from the Reale Vinci Ducati team to get him back out after that tumble at turn number 4.
36 laps Rins has managed to squeeze into the day so far. Not sure if they've been able to go out there and test too much from 2018 as yet.
Probably still not feeling that great, is he? We all know what it's like when you get a nasty stomach virus, a nasty stomach bug. It can leave you really drained. Told Dylan earlier on today, he spent the whole of yesterday just lying in his bed, trying to get himself recovered and recuperated for today. But if you've had any kind of stomach bug, you'll know that it's a pretty horrible experience. It can just leave you sapped of all energy. So, not surprised to see Rins has only been out there for, 36 laps so far.
His teammate Andrea Iannone has managed a few more, 47 laps for the Italian, and 5th place in the session, 1:30.8. It's fair to say that in general, Iannone seems to have his mojo back at the moment.
Yeah, and he took a tumble actually when you were doing the great honour of going to get the coffees in earlier on, Steve. Actually took a tumble at turn 2 with Andrea Iannone. It was perfectly okay. My turn to get the coffees later.
Scott Redding here, getting himself used to pretty point you made earlier about Scott Redding and the different crew chiefs. I mean, it must play such a huge effect because you're just having to learn a new person altogether. I mean, no 2 humans are exactly the same, and the way that they will want to set a bike up and the feedback that they will want specifically will be different. As Nakagami here we ride with, LCR rider.
Yeah, Scott Redding, I don't think he's going to be too happy to be down in 18th place. These are live pictures from the Ricardo Tormo circuit in Valencia. Andrea Dovizioso, your 2017 MotoGP World Championship runner-up, explaining to the throngs of media exactly how his preparations have started for 2018 here in Valencia. Position not that fantastic for Dovizioso, 15th, but we know that that's not going to bother him one iota. 1:31.758, the best he's done today. As Andrea Dovizioso was working through a lot of 2017 setups, just reconfirming a few things. There was a few 2018 components bolted onto that GP17. It was effectively a hybrid version of the Ducati. We will not see the full 2018 Ducati GP18 prototype until testing resumes, or official testing resumes, in Malaysia, Sepang International Circuit in late January.
Yeah, that will be really fascinating to see how that machine gets on. Just never know what Ducati have got up their sleeve, and I'm sure they've got something. As we look here at Tito Rabat still circulating. Marc Marquez still fastest in the session. We've got just under an hour and 45 minutes left to go. So far, the improvers today are Marc Marquez, Sarko Lorenzo 2nd and 3rd, and 4th improving today in the fast times. Cal Crutchlow, I'm delighted to say, in the commentary box here, just taking selfie duty. It's Lucio Cecchinello, LCR team boss. Lucio, thanks so much for joining us in the commentary box. Cal's gone out there. It seems to be a good day so far, and the new bike has been out and tested. What are the thoughts and feedback so far?
Well, we are very pleased with the work that has been done by HRC. It's remarkable what they brought here, and is definitely giving us a lot of hope for the next year. We really appreciate the new bike performance, the engine performance, the chassis performance. There are, of course, some points that has to be improved, but of course, the test we are doing here and also next week in Jerez is very important to continue the development of this wonderful machine.
Which I think it's fair to say that even though Honda this year had a fantastic year, they won the Triple Crown for the first time since 2014. Marquez winning the World Championship, they were the Constructors Champions, they won the team trophy as well for Repsol Honda. It's still not the easiest motorcycle to ride, is it, the Honda? We hear from Mark and we hear from Danny Pedrosa and your man on screens right now, Cal Crutchlow. What are the main targets for the Honda engineers to make the bike perhaps a little bit easier to manage for 2018? What have they been working on back in Japan for next year?
It's for sure. Is right that historically Yamaha machine, Yamaha bikes are a little bit better to ride. Honda normally is a more nervous machine, you know. But eventually, when you have a special rider like Marquez or like Stoner, it can be an extremely performing machine. Of course, the target of the engineer is not only to build a very special bike for a very special rider, is to give a better bike for a largest group of riders, and this is the focus. And of course, those areas to be improved in, those areas we need to work basically on chassis and power delivery. They did a lot of work on the chassis, to develop the chassis. We have many parts to test here. And about the power delivery, of course, a major role of the power delivery is played by the electronics. As you know, the Honda previously had their own software, while now we are obliged to use the common software. And the common software is based on Marelli tools, you know. Then Honda engineer needed in 2016 to redesign all the software management for the traction control, and then that's why I believe that we lost a little bit our competitiveness compared to the past, especially, you know, if you look from the point of view of the tire consumption, of the fuel consumption, and we had the better software before. At least I don't want to say that Marelli software is worse. I want to say that Marelli software has been probably developed through the years, especially for Ducati and Yamaha, not really for us. So we restarted a little bit from zero. Another thing that, of course, Honda did to improve the power delivery is the Big Bang engine configuration, and definitely it's what we needed to make an easier bike. So let's continue to work.
Looks like there's been, I'm not sure if there's been some technical problem out there on circuit of Polispargo, as Andrea Dovizioso continues to be mobbed by the media, as it has so often in 2017 after an outstanding year. Very important test, exciting times for LCR Honda, Lucio. You're restored to a two-rider effort for next season with Taka Nakagami coming on board as a rookie. It's always an exciting time for a rider when they make that move into MotoGP from Moto2. Not an easy transition. He's done a really good job so far this weekend. So what have Taka's first impressions been of life as a MotoGP rider in LCR Honda?
First of all, I'm very pleased because I saw Taka very calm. You know, he's not a typical rider that is very nervous or is going inside and pushing very hard from the first lap and then eventually get really tired straight after. It's really doing his approach, I believe, on the right way, because he's taking his time. He's slowly improve his pace, and what I really like it is the way how he communicates with our crew chief. Because normally, because we work with Japanese rider, normally Japanese riders are not very much skilled on communication. I mean, of course, they need to communicate in a different language, and they are culturally they are a little bit more reserved, more conservative, more shy, while he's really giving nice and straight information to our engineer. So I like the fact that he's calm, and I like the fact that he's interacting with our technician already in a very professional and constructive way. Having said that, it's interesting to see,